She thought she could cheat and take everything. I let her file first, then took it all back. I've been married to my wife, let's call her Amy, for 7 years. We met in college, dated for 2 years, then got married young. At first, everything felt like a fairy tale. We were that couple that never really fought, made spontaneous road trips, had inside jokes about the dumbest stuff, and made our future plans like they were carved in stone. But around 6 months ago, something shifted. It started subtle. She'd get home from work a little later. Then it was a lot later. She said she was taking on more projects at work because they were short-staffed. I believed her, why wouldn't I? She'd never given me a reason not to. I even felt bad that she was so stressed. I started cooking more often so she wouldn't have to, took care of laundry, made sure the house was clean, all that stuff. I was trying to be supportive. But then it got weird. She started going out on girls' nights way more often. Like, every weekend. Sometimes even during the week. When I offered to drop her off or pick her up, she'd brush it off. It's just dinner and drinks, babe. Don't worry. But I was starting to worry. One night, she was in the shower and her phone buzzed on the counter. It lit up with a name I didn't recognize, Jake. Nothing suspicious about that on its own, but I'd never heard her mention a Jake. Curiosity got the better of me. I didn't unlock her phone, but I watched as message after message popped up. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. When will I see you again? My heart dropped. When she came out of the shower, I was silent. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I felt sick. She noticed I was quiet and asked, "Everything okay?" I nodded. "Yeah, just tired." I didn't sleep that night. I spent the next few days watching closely. Her behavior made more sense now. The phone glued to her side, smiling at texts, zoning out mid-conversation. I started playing a role, acting normal. I didn't want her to know I suspected anything yet. I needed to be sure. So I asked casually, "Who's Jake?" while we were watching TV one night. She didn't even flinch. "Oh, just a guy from work. He's in a different department. We were on the same conference call." I nodded slowly. "Cool. Just wondering. His name came up when you left your phone on the counter the other day." That got her attention. Her eyes flicked toward me for a split second, then back to the TV. "Oh, did it?" "Yeah, he's chatty. Like, overly friendly. I don't really talk to him much." I didn't say anything after that. I just let the silence hang. Later that night, she changed her phone password. The following weekend, she said she had to go to a work dinner. A Saturday night work dinner. When I offered to drive her, she laughed and said, "No way. You'd be bored out of your mind. It's all finance talk." "Maybe I'd like it," I said, smiling. "You really want to hang out with my coworkers for 3 hours and talk about spreadsheets and quarterly reports?" I shrugged. "Could be fun." She gave me a quick kiss and said, "I'll be back late. Don't wait up." She left wearing a new black dress and heels I'd never seen before. That was the night I knew for sure. I didn't follow her that time. I wasn't ready. I wasn't even sure what I'd do if I caught her red-handed. But I knew I had to stop being passive. The next few weeks were a slow-motion train crash. She became colder, more distant. We used to eat dinner together every night. Now she'd say, "I already ate," or "I'm not really hungry." When we did talk, it was shallow. No more late-night conversations in bed. No more sharing memes. No more goofy dancing in the kitchen. Just silence. Or worse, forced politeness. Then one night, everything boiled over. She was getting ready for another girl's night, and I said, "You've been going out a lot lately." She paused. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Just that we never spend time together anymore. You're always out or tired. We barely talk." She rolled her eyes. "Don't make this into a thing, okay? I'm allowed to go out. I never said you weren't. I'm just saying something feels different." She put her earrings in and said, "Maybe it's because things are different." My stomach dropped. "What's that supposed to mean?" She sighed like I was exhausting. "We've been drifting for a while, haven't we? I don't know. Maybe we're not the same people we used to be." There it was. The first real crack. I said quietly, "Are you seeing someone else?" Her eyes narrowed. "No. Why would you even ask that?" "I saw a text from Jake." She went stone cold. "Then, you went through my phone?" "I didn't have to." "The messages lit up your screen." Her jaw clenched. "You're invading my privacy now? You're dodging the question." She grabbed her purse and said, "I don't have to explain myself to someone who doesn't trust me." She walked out. I sat on the couch for an hour, staring at the door. That was when the switch flipped. I wasn't going to play the naive husband anymore. I wasn't going to wait for her to destroy my life, then act shocked. The next day, I made appointments. A lawyer, a financial advisor. I got my own bank account. I checked every joint account, every investment, every piece of property. I started moving what was mine, legally and quietly. The lawyer told me to start documenting everything. Dates, behavior changes, any messages I could find. I played nice with her for the next week. I even bought her flowers. She looked confused. "What's this for?" "Just thought you'd like them." She smiled slightly, but I could see the gears turning. She wasn't sure if I was suspecting something or forgiving something. The next weekend, I did follow her. She left at 6:30 p.m., again claiming it was dinner with the girls. I waited 10 minutes, then drove after her. She didn't go downtown. She didn't go to the restaurant she named. She went to a different neighborhood entirely, parked outside an apartment complex. 10 minutes later, Jake came out. I recognized him from her social media tags. They kissed like they'd done it 100 times. She wasn't just cheating. She was comfortable cheating, like it had been going on for a while. After I followed her to Jake's apartment and took the pictures, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't even shake. I just sat in the car with this numb, vibrating silence in my chest, like my heart had shut off to let my brain do what it needed to do. I drove home, parked, and sat in my garage for 45 minutes staring at the steering wheel. I wasn't broken. I was calculating. I walked inside, washed my hands like I was scrubbing off her kiss from my skin, and poured a whiskey. No dinner. No lights. Just me and the drink. The silence in that house was deafening now. It was filled with echoes of who we used to be. She came home just after midnight. I was sitting on the couch, TV off, drink in hand. She looked surprised. "Why are you up?" she asked, setting her bag on the kitchen counter. "Couldn't sleep. You didn't have to wait up for me." "I wasn't waiting," I replied. "Just thinking." She paused, sensing something was off. Thinking about what? About how much people can change when they think no one's watching. That one hit. I saw her flinch, just barely. Then she forced a smile and went to the bedroom without another word. I slept on the couch that night. Not because she told me to, because the bed felt like a lie. The next morning, I took the day off from work. Told them it was a family emergency. In a way, it was. I went back to the lawyer. Showed her the pictures. She nodded slowly. "This makes everything easier. And harder." "How so?" "Well," she said, flipping through some papers, "you're on solid ground now. But if she's already this far into the affair, she may be trying to secure as much as she can before she files. Have you noticed any money moving?" I thought for a second. She's been using her personal credit card a lot more. Less out of the joint account. Classic. She's prepping. Probably hoping you'll be passive and walk into mediation blind. That wasn't going to happen. We spent 2 hours that day going through every joint account, retirement fund, asset, insurance policy, and debt. She advised me to move my individual assets, things I had prior to marriage, into a revocable trust with my brother as trustee. I also rerouted my paycheck to a private account, froze the joint credit card, and put alerts on all banking activity. I wasn't stealing. I wasn't hiding. I was protecting what was mine. That weekend, Amy acted strange. Not distant strange. Nice strange. She offered to cook dinner for once. Made that mushroom risotto she hadn't touched in over a year. "I figured we could have a date night," she said with a little smile. I nodded. "Sounds good." We ate quietly. She poured wine. Made small talk. Laughed at one of my jokes like she actually meant it. But I saw it all for what it was, strategy. "You know," she said halfway through dinner, "I've been thinking about us. Maybe we should take a vacation. Just us two. Clear our heads." I looked at her, knowing full well that just 5 nights ago, she was straddling Jake in a candlelit apartment. "Yeah? Where to?" She hesitated. "Maybe somewhere with beaches. Relax a little. We've both been stressed." I raised my glass. "To new beginnings." She clinked it. Smiled. Liar. That night, I checked her phone while she was in the shower. I'd already guessed her new password weeks ago, our dog's name backwards, and her birth year. She thought she was clever. There they were. More messages from Jake. "Jake, you think he's suspicious yet?" "Amy, he's clueless. I'm buttering him up so the divorce goes smooth." "Jake, you think you'll get the house?" "Amy, if I play this right, I'll get half of everything. Maybe more." I took screenshots. Sent them to my secure email. That was the moment my heart finally broke. Not because of the cheating that I could have dealt with. It was the contempt. I never cheated. Never lied. Never made her feel small or unsupported. And she was sitting across the dinner table from me planning how to gut me like I was a mark in some con job. A week later, she served me divorce papers. She cried when she handed them over. "I didn't want it to come to this," she sniffed. "I just think we've grown apart." I wanted to scream. I wanted to say, "You were just messaging Jake last night about taking me for everything." But I didn't. I just said, "I understand. My lawyer will be in touch." Her face flickered. "You already have a lawyer?" "Yeah. I've had one for a few weeks." I watched her mask crack just a little. "Oh," she said softly. "Okay." She left the room like a ghost. 2 days later, we sat down for the first mediation session. She showed up with her lawyer and an entire folder of demands. She wanted the house, half my retirement, spousal support, the car, custody of the dog. My lawyer stayed quiet. Let her go first, then calmly opened our folder. She handed the opposing counsel the photos, the screenshots, the banking activity, the dates. Her lawyer looked like he wanted to sink into the floor. Amy's mouth opened, but no words came out. "I'd like to submit this evidence on behalf of my client," my attorney said. "We're prepared to argue bad faith negotiation, infidelity, and manipulation for financial gain." Amy's lawyer asked for a recess. In the hallway, she looked at me like I was a stranger. You've been spying on me? No. I said, I've been protecting myself. You made your choice. I just made mine after you did. You blindsided me. I almost laughed. You were planning to blindside me. I just beat you to it. She didn't say anything else. Just walked away and sat silently with her lawyer for the rest of the meeting. From that point on, her tone changed. She stopped smiling, stopped trying to play victim. Her list of demands shrunk with each meeting. She tried bargaining, tried guilt-tripping. At one point she said, I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just looked at her and said, neither did I. Jake? He disappeared the second things turned legal. I heard from a mutual friend that he blocked her on everything and moved on to someone else. Real Prince Charming. As the divorce inched forward, I saw the people around her begin to distance themselves. She tried to twist the story, tried to make it sound mutual, or like I had driven her into another man's arms. But people aren't stupid, especially not when screenshots start floating around. A mutual friend messaged me and said, I had no idea. She made it sound like you were the one cheating. I replied, that would have been more convenient for her, yeah. Eventually, Amy tried reaching out one night. Called me around midnight, drunk. I let go to voicemail. Her message was slurred and half crying. I miss you. We were good once, weren't we? I made a mistake. I just wanted more. I don't even know anymore. I deleted it. Because I did know. She wanted more. She just didn't think I deserved anything. But I'd already gotten what I needed. The divorce finalized 3 weeks ago. The ink is still fresh, but in my mind, it's been over for months. After the mediation disaster where Amy's lawyer had to basically eat crow in front of everyone, things turned ugly, but quietly. She didn't scream. She didn't fight. Not in front of the legal teams. But behind the scenes, that's where it all unraveled. She stopped texting. No more fake affection. No more attempts at manipulation. Instead, she ghosted, which honestly was the best thing she could have done. She let her lawyer deal with everything, and when he realized just how stacked the evidence was against her, texts, photos, financial scheming, he told her to settle. She didn't want to. She tried to drag it out, delay things. Then she tried the sympathy play. One afternoon, she messaged me. Amy, can we talk? No lawyers. Just us. Me about what? Amy, about what went wrong. About us. I think we need closure. Me? We had closure the moment you kissed Jake. She didn't respond after that. I found out through mutual friends that Jake was never going to be there for her. Apparently, he had a girlfriend the entire time, and Amy was just his side project. Once the drama started, he ghosted, blocked her on socials, changed gyms. She tried texting him from a different number, and he replied with, lose this number. We're done. She spiraled after that. At least, that's what I heard. She showed up at one of our friends' birthdays, trying to act normal, and someone asked how the divorce was going. She made a face and said, it's complicated. He's being difficult. But that friend had already seen the screenshots, knew the real story. She got iced out pretty quick after that. The truth has a way of leaking, even when you try to bury it under charm. And then the day came. My lawyer called and said, congratulations. It's official. She walked away with nothing substantial. No spousal support. No claim to the house, because I'd bought it with my own money before we were married. The prenup she forgot about? Yeah, that held up. She took a few furniture pieces, her car, and some clothing. That's it. I kept the house, the savings, the investments, and most importantly, the dog. His name is Max German Shepherd, 8 years old, the only living being who was loyal from start to finish. You want to know something funny? The day she moved her stuff out, Max growled at her. This dog, who used to love her, just stood in the hallway and let out a low, warning growl. She froze, looked at me. What the hell is wrong with him? I shrugged. Maybe he just doesn't recognize you anymore. She glared but said nothing, grabbed the last box, and left without saying goodbye. That night, I opened a bottle of scotch I'd been saving since our anniversary 2 years ago. I sat on the porch with Max at my feet, looking up at the stars, and I finally breathed. Not the shallow breath of someone who's trying to stay calm. A real one. Full lungs. Full peace. Over the next few weeks, people started reaching out. Some offering support, others wanting the real story. I didn't say much. I didn't need to. The screenshots spoke louder than I ever could. What really struck me, though, was how many people admitted that they saw it coming. Little things. Moments where Amy was cold or dismissive, or where she made weird comments like, if we ever split, I'm keeping the couch. I always laughed those off. I thought she was joking. Turns out she wasn't. The worst part? I think she was planning this for a long time. Maybe not the cheating. That felt more opportunistic. But the idea of leaving, of flipping the narrative, of taking me for everything that wasn't impulsive. That was strategy. She'd been checking out of the marriage for at least a year. I was just too in love, or too blind, to see it. And now I'm learning how to live again. Alone, yes, but not lonely. I go for morning runs with Max. I started cooking for myself, not because I'm trying to impress someone who doesn't care. I reconnected with my brother, who I hadn't really talked to in years. I even went on a date last weekend. Nothing serious. Just coffee and conversation. It felt good to be seen again. Not manipulated. Not used. Just seen. A couple days ago, I got one last text from Amy. Amy, I hope you're doing okay. I know I messed up. I think about us a lot. I miss who we were. I didn't respond. Not because I'm bitter. Not because I want revenge. But because I'm finally free of her. And I don't want to go back. Not even in a text message. She made her choice. And I made mine. I chose peace. I chose myself. I chose not to be collateral in someone else's selfish story. To anyone out there who thinks something feels off, listen to that feeling. Don't wait for the explosion to confirm the smoke. Start protecting yourself quietly. Carefully. Legally. Don't make threats. Don't argue. Just prepare. Because if someone is capable of betraying you like that, they're capable of lying to your face while asking how your day was. I didn't think I'd ever be the kind of person who would hire a lawyer before my spouse did. I didn't think I'd have to check phone logs and track text messages. I didn't think I'd sit across from the woman I once loved and listen to her lie under oath with a straight face. But I did all of that, and I survived it. And now, I'm just a guy with a good dog, a clean house, and a quiet mind. And that's more than enough.